Bloop. No, that's not right. I was trying to swallow. Bloop. Anyway, the Kosher Catfish here, hanging out with a Stop That Cat. Got the thing on. I adjusted it a bit. Give it a little bit of a forward sweep. So when we shoveling up stuff and such, it does what it do, because it's not for me, it's for you. Anyway, Kosher Catfish here. With some really, well, let's see what we say here. Crisis. There's a crisis with the crisis. Now, who's the crisis? Well, Coach Catfish been following this here fella for a long time, cause I was want to not follow in his shoes or nothing like that, but do the same kind of job that he was doing, but not talk to people necessarily, because when you're in science, you ain't always want to talk to people, except the people that sort of understand the science, unless you're just there for public communications. Anyway, crisis. There's a crisis with the crisis. The Neo Man, the Dyson Sphere. I fear that the Dyson Sphere is, well, he done gone on the other side somehow. I'm not sure what has happened. Some might call it like a brainworm, something like that. Doesn't happen. And at the same time to a lot of people. And it actually seems to happen more with the crocodile roach, what would that be called? The metaphor, the crocodile roach metaphor. So here we are. How can we try to unwind this and see what's going on and why this dub goes catfish so much? Cause I was a seeker of truth. The truth is so aloof. I've been seeking and gigging. Well, that's why I did both of it. When I studied the science and stuff, I felt like I was studying some of the art. So that's just the way it was for me. Anyway, let's get back here to who we're supposed to be talking about. The crisis with the crisis. Now, I saw this feller. I done seen two heavy duty things. It was disturbing to me from a truth point of view, and just a pure logic and observational logic. Things you can see, things you can measure, things you can quantitatively and qualitatively do something with. You can harass these here things and do something with them. And the language is what gets me, because Coach Catfish has these issues with the tissues of the language and hearing stuff, and then it comes out of here, and I'm not sure. I mean, I'm trying to keep it an even keel today, because this is a serious circumstance. The crisis with the crisis. What is happening to the man? Anyway, he's a physics man. You know who I'm talking about. The big, I don't know. He's a big old feller. At least looks like a big old feller on TV. Anyway, he seems like a pretty cool dude, but science is not something. Science has always just been one of them closed, hush kind of things. And when I see people getting out there and talking a little too much about things that they really should understand, people have no concept, so you can sway their minds. You can hypnotize them. You can sit there. Oh, look at the lizard. People snack. Oh, before you know it, you'll do anything. Yeah. The word, the dirty word, the first really dirty word. I got to get a little Carl McGregor here, cause that man would carry me off in the battle. Anyway, here we go. Consensus. Con-Sensus. Now, when you just look at that as, oh, well, we got some consensus. Coach Catfish always talk real fast and everything like that, except when I'm, having to use the other voice, like the capital letter voice and stuff like that, because he's talk very slow and he tries to be more English so we sound more intelligent. But Con-Sensus. Now, what Coach Catfish been telling you long time ago, that when you study physics and the mathematics and stuff like that, it's very, very difficult for people to lie to you. Because you not only see through the poo-poo, but you can calculate the poo-poo and see if it wears out properly in the balance. The man was talking about circumstances around the poke. Not being in the poke, but the poke. The thing. The Marna. He's talking about the consensus around that. And then, what I saw was very disturbing, is he went into this thing about consensus. It's just when we all agree. And there isn't anyone else, no matter what their perspective is, or their position, or their background. If they don't have consensus with us, then they are meaningless. I think that's called cancel culture. Now, Coach Catfish understands cancel culture because I done been canceled more than once and, just rub it in. So the consensus. So if you don't go along with the consensus, and let me tell you here, homebrew, in science there is no such thing as consensus exactly. Because at some point, even the laws of physics could change in the proper environment. We don't know that much about space. We sure as hell have not figured out even how to calculate our position as a position, because we don't even really know how many other things below us and above us there are. We just stab it in the dark blindly. So when you have science people with big reputations, and they're even bigger and bigger personages, be careful about how you look at them. You may be hypnotized, and they con your senses. They be telling you, you do not see that, you see this. The experted it right there. Don't you see the blob on the floor? Don't you see? Con your senses. No, that is where someone squashed a grape. Yes, it's where someone squashed a grape. Conning your senses when you can look on the floor and see something done happen. They con your senses. And if you're smart enough, and people snack don't understand, you can just have them jumping around like a puppy dog, looking for another treat. Now, that's just one word. Con-Sensus. There is no such thing as consensus exactly. There is a certain type of consensus, but even in consensus there is disagreement and various different ways of looking at things from maybe another discipline. Anyway, so we got the consensus, then line about the consensus. Now, conscience. Conscience. Spell it as two words. Con-Science. Con-Science. Well, here we go. So that's the second part of the whole thing. Once we got the consensus and we done conned the science, because to con someone is to take advantage of them. Really, that's what conning is. You take advantage of somebody. So that's what you did. Okay, then you play the confidence. Confidence. You con their fidence. And the fidence is just something that the people really don't have a whole lot of. They act like they have some, but fidence is always lacking. Unless they somebody like Coach Catfish and just, I just wade through there with the shark fin and whatever's necessary. It's a con of your fidence. They done con that too. So now we are not confident that we know anything at all. Because maybe somebody else doesn't know anything at all, and we're not sure who knows what and where and why, because we have been part of the consensus, we have been conned by the science, and our confidence is lacking. Anyway, one more word, and I think you'll probably understand why I was so shocked, because I done seen this here man say, what is a woman? Well, the hell, he didn't have no answer. Didn't you make a baby? Anyway, I don't know if he has children. I'm not sure about any of that. I just seen the man on PBS back in the day, and I quit watching that crap a long time ago, because I liked real science. The kind you do and work on yourself. Where you learning. That kind of science. Anyway, what have we got here? Condemnations. Condemnation. That's another good word. Condemnation. Well, that's just like looking down on, like if you're not part of the consensus of their conscience and you don't have their confidence, then you'll be part of that condemnations. And that's what they done did. You don't speak to it, you're not part of the nation. So you was under condemnation. And then, to top it all off, we got the last one. One more, just one more. Descend. Descend. They're going to con you about your descending. Now, what they're saying is, go jump off this here cliff in your plaid. The car that you take a bunch of hot dogs and weenies with, because when the sucker goes poof, then you can get out and do your weenie roast. Get something out of the sucker. Something. Anyway, they say, go jump off the cliff. Because the condescend. And what the black-haired man with green eyes sitting over there with the chicken say. He wrote this here for me. No gravity will give you a cushion right to the bottom. Just jump and see. So here we are. Are we going to go for the big enchilada? The condescend. When you jump off that cliff, sucker, you can be heading down 9.8 meters a second. Squared. It goes fast and faster. Anyway, When you hit the bottom, you won't have to worry about your conscience, about your consensus, about your competence, or about your condemnation. Cause gravity has the last laugh. Praise y'all. Praise y'all. The man scares me. He scares me. It scares me. Do he even know what the Dyson sphere is? You know, civilization. Do we want to stay back here to 0 or 0.04 or something like that? On that, it's not the Vegeta scale. It's a scale of how civilizations are ranked as to how much energy that they can use and abuse from their local star and local system. Anyway, we down there way below. So I'm not sure where it's gonna go. Kosher Catfish out of here. I got things to do. Woohoo!